there's something that weird about Aaliyah's songs, which I found, which is that I'm okay at singing. You know, I'm sure I need a lot of training and I can get better. But yeah, when I try to sing that, if your girl only knew, I won't want to kick it with you. I find I've just noticed it now that there's some things that I can sing very well, and there's some things I just can't sing at all. And the lines that I can't sing are things. You've been talking to her, get 'em. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to sing it, and then I'm just my. It's like it just can't come out. And I'm thinking about what words I can sing and what words I can't sing in that song, and it is very strange how I feel like the only words of that song that I can sing are ones that I actually agree with, and I feel like there's so many words in that song particularly that I just can't sing, or I can't like force myself to sing. You've been talking to her. You've been talking to her. I can't sing that. You. I don't know. It's like there's something like a frog in my throat as soon as I start singing because I'm just thinking, who are you talking to? And you're not talking to me. And then I'm just thinking like, why am I like this? And I just feel like, well, Aaliyah kind of represents. It's my darker side, but it's my darker side whilst living a better life. So on the surface, she seemed like she had, a fairly nice life, and much better than mine. But yeah, I find that I can't sing her songs very well, which is why you would never or rarely hear me try to sing some of her songs. Some of them I can. A 4-page letter. I'm sending you a 4-page letter, and I installed it. No, I don't even want to say that. I can't even say hatred either. I don't know. There's something weird about her songs that I feel like there's like a stop on a lot of them because I just don't want to. I don't like singing words that I don't agree with, and I feel like there's loads of things in her songs that I don't agree with. But then I feel like if her me when I was living that life was sort of almost programmed to not say to only say things that I agree with, but at the same time subconsciously being knowing that I actually represent the dark side. And if I was programmed to say that I'm the darker side of Christ, I probably would be able to sing it, but I feel like I can't sing those, and it just makes me wonder. Like it does feel like there's programming inside every human, and it's a weird programming because yeah, like maybe so Brittany's breakdown where she loses memory and stuff. Maybe that is to do with part of a programming that was meant to happen. Can it be fixed? Can it be undone? Can it be changed? I don't know. I mean, I don't control my higher self. God doesn't control people, but I feel like there is some sort of programming. Like my sister and my mum, I feel like they're programmed to deny my religion, and it's like however much I try and tell them to pay attention to what I'm saying because I'm Christ and things are going to change. It's just like they just can't do it. It's like there's a stop on their brain, just in the same way that when I try to sing some of Aaliyah's songs, I feel like I can't speak. Like it's very very strange, or it just sounds terrible. Um, 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 and it's not even talk to her. You've been talking to her. It's talking to me, isn't it? So even that, even that. Did I just say you've been talking to her? It's not actually that those aren't the lyrics, aren't they? It's talking to me, aren't they? It's like almost I feel like I don't even know if you people. I don't know. I feel like there's just so much I'm trying to work out human programming, which is an interesting subject because there might be there's this like AI where people are trying to create like a sort of human a robotic human almost that you can talk to it like it's a person and it talks back, but it's actually just a program. And then it kind of makes me wonder how much does human programming affect psychology. I know that you can work out. I believe that God can create people, but not through her actually making choices for people, but rather through her giving lives to certain people, giving lives to people, knowing that they're going to live their free will and by their free will or by their choices, but also putting them in certain circumstances that are going to make them believe certain things. And so yeah, you've got this the conscious of a person, which is formed through subconscious of past lives plus current memory lives. But then it's just there's a deeper thing, which is a certain programming. Like I feel a lot of the singers are sort of programmed in a way to subconsciously link to something. I mean, if this programming is actually just them thinking about their future and wanting, the best path for them, and feeling like um, their subconscious feeling like there's a huge number of people that are going to remember them for the rest of the timeline under these names, or is it just like a programming that they had at the beginning? That's also a possibility. Are my parents, my mom and my sister, well, my dad as well, but are they actually, what makes them not want to take any interest in my religion? That's a weird question if you're trying to understand human psychology. um Watching a video yesterday where this group of people were saying how they've got the best information. It's the most interesting information that you'll get all year, and it's just like, no, no, it's not. And then I try to listen to it, and they were just talking about how the human psychology of what we thought it was to just have kids and procreate, and now we know it's not. And you're right, that's not right. It's not about procreating. I mean, procreating, the subconscious desire to procreate isn't actually, like, when you're animals, isn't actually just to have kids. It's actually a selfish intention, because I feel like even the subconscious of the world believes in reincarnation, even though the consciousness of all the individuals don't believe in reincarnation. The subconscious does, and therefore the subconscious knows that the only way that you yourself are going to come back to life is if you have kids, and if there's bodies for you to come back to. And your conscience doesn't know that, but your subconscious does. And so when animals are cruel, and like the fish in there, that they have no desire for their offspring at all. But I don't think fish have a subconscious. I feel like they haven't developed that yet. Fish have developed a mind to be able to swim left or right and attack things. But yeah, when they become land animals, I think that's when their subconscious starts to get stronger, and then they have needs, like birds have needs to have babies. Um, is it because I mean, why would a bird have a baby? What would be the sole desire of a bird to have a child? I mean, it doesn't really make sense, because birds are quite selfish creatures. And as soon as the babies get to a certain age, they fly off, and probably, I don't know if they fly together. I mean, it's different for different birds, I guess. But um, why would a bird spend so much time looking for worms to feed their young? I mean, one, it gives them a sense of purpose, I feel like they get some satisfaction in that. But I feel like the overall subconscious knows that that bird wants to come back as a bird, and therefore there needs to be birds. And because there is racism inside every soul. If you come back as a bluebird and you see all the sparrows, you might not actually like the sparrows. You might want to come back as a bluebird rather than a sparrow. And so you part of the subconscious of a bluebird is to just have lots of bluebird babies, so that you're more likely to come back as that same bluebird. I mean, they're very dumb, and they don't realize that you can actually come back as a sparrow, just like humans don't realize that you can go from Muslim to Jewish, or Jewish from Muslim, or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting, this thinking about the subconscious of people. um, and then to think that there's also probably programming in there. Animals act a certain way. um, and why don't giraffes sleep? And there's certain things that animals do, that it's like, there's a lot of things. Is it nature or is it nurture? Are you a certain who you are because of your upbringing, or are you who you are because of the things around you, and people bringing you up in a certain way? But yeah, I think that it's a lot deeper than that. Your consciousness has been formed by your current life, but also your past lives. But then again, is it life experiences that have done this, or is there actually programming inside of an individual to make them? I feel like there is a part of programming, which is nature, which is what nature brings you up, the programming of nature, and maybe the subconscious of what you were when you were animals. If you don't sleep a lot, maybe you were a giraffe in your past life, and that's where a person got there. When you live your first life as a human, that you still have character, and you still have. My mum is living her first life, and she's still got personality in some sort of way. That's not very intelligent, but she has characteristics, and I feel like a lot of those characteristics have actually been taken from further level of that. But then it's like, but she's also got this weird thing that makes her can't accept my religion, and I feel like that's almost programming into her for the overall design. The overall design is for me to go through what I'm going through, and I guess for my parents to push me away, so that governments all around the world know that I'm not being influenced, nurtured by or influenced by other things around me. I'm being influenced solely by myself, because that's all I have. And then yeah, it's just the human biology is different, because you're also, I feel like people are linking to me to be a certain way, and guys of course are slightly different, like they have the XY rather than the XX, and I think having an XX means you have like one extra leg than guys do, and I feel like that one extra leg is just something that makes a person, just that connection to me just a little bit stronger. And because guys don't have that, there's whatever in that left leg that they have one less of, it's just a slightly less connected to me. But that's how it should be, because if you want someone, a partner, you want them to be slightly different to you. You don't want them to be the same. If they're the same, for me it would be weird. But yeah, with reincarnation, even if a girl does date a girl, you're not dating someone who's the same, because they have developed different traits from their past life and stuff. So, but yeah, it is very, very deep and very, very complex.